Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to Morning Tea with CJ. The show where I browse the web and see what's new. It's Morning Tea with CJ. More tea with me, let's browse the web and see what's new. Yeah, you and me, let's Morning Tea with CJ. Morning Tea with me, let's browse the web and see what's new. Yeah, you and me. Kind of messed that up. Welcome to the show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Hello, Rohit. Hello, James. Hello, Julian. Welcome to the stream. Watching from work, I see. If you're watching live, say hello in the chat. And let me know what you're drinking also. I'm actually drinking water because I already had 2 cups of tea this morning, so limiting my caffeine intake. If you're new to the show, I do have a GitHub repo where I post all the links to the things that I find and discuss on the stream. You can check it out at github.com/codinggarden/morning-tea. And yeah, every time I do the show, I'll post links to all the things I find and then also any code that I potentially write. So, get right into it. I like to browse Reddit on the stream, so we're going to look at r/JavaScript, r/webdev, and r/programming. Ran, welcome to the stream. SDFGWDH, hello. Let me know how you pronounce that. Not sure how. Also, before we get started, let's say hello to Dash, and that is his name if you didn't see the video. He's just hanging out. He is a pretty awesome fish. Yep, he knows we're watching him. See? Hey, Dan, welcome to the stream. Cool. All right, let's start with r/JavaScript and see what's new. Let's look at this one. 30 seconds of interviews. A curated collection of web dev interview questions and answers ranging from junior to senior to help you prepare for your next one. Oh, actually, I did see this morning. This actually looks really good. And it's also open source on GitHub, so you can contribute. But it is a nicely designed website with lots and lots of interview questions that are labeled with either like junior, senior, junior, mid, or senior in various categories. So we can look at like JavaScript questions and sort by expertise. And you can practice interview questions. So what is the difference between the equality operators double equals and triple equals? Do you know? I know, but do you know? Triple equals compares type and value. Double equals just compares value and will coerce the type. And you can check out the answer. It'll tell you it there. And each of the questions is labeled, like I said, junior, intermediate, all the way up to senior. It is all like based on the people that contributed to this repo, so you may or may not agree that these questions are like junior or intermediate, but you can also contribute to the repo. And they have CSS questions. What is CSS BEM? I don't know what that is. What is CSS BEM? The BEM methodology is a naming convention for CSS classes in order to keep CSS more maintainable by defining namespaces to solve scoping issues. Interesting. So basically anything that belongs in the same area is namespaced and then separated by like underscores. Okay. I've seen this. I didn't know it was called BEM. That's pretty cool. What are the advantages of CSS preprocessors? Do you know? So this resource is pretty sweet. And as I mentioned, it is on GitHub. It's a pretty fresh repo too, but if you have other questions, you can submit them here, and it's a nice little database of questions you can practice before interviews. Let's check out the comments. Thank you. Yes, thank you. This is cool. In case anyone would like to contribute, check out the GitHub. What about this takes 30 seconds? That's an interesting question. It could just be that, like, I don't know, during your coffee break or something like that, you just pick one question and see if you can answer it. But let's see what they have to say. Scrolling rapidly through the list to see things, then think, I guess I'll bookmark for later. Mostly a clickbait title. Okay, the project is part of 30 Brand, the same team that did 30 seconds of code and 30 seconds of CSS. I've not heard of these things, but let's check it out. 30 seconds of code, curated collection of useful JavaScript snippets that you can understand in 30 seconds or less. Okay. Today's picks. Initialize a 2D array of the given width and height. Cool. So I learned about array.from last night, thanks to Amal on the Codekata stream. But this is doing basically a nested map that will create an array of arrays using a given width and height and filling it with a given value. Pretty sweet. And I'm guessing you can like look at all the snippets. Where are the snippets? Or do you just get one? Oh, arrow button. Okay. Cool. That's cool. And then there's also 30 seconds of CSS, which is a similar idea, but with CSS. Can we see an example? Oh, look, a little bouncing loader. Very nice. Yeah, these are cool. I will link to all of these. May 31st is today. Tomorrow is June. Oh my goodness. Or it might be June already, wherever you are in the world. Rand is saying sound is kind of low. I can turn up just a little bit. Make sure you are using headphones if it's too low. I don't want to make it too loud for some people. Let me know if that's a little better. Yeah, let's link to this. 30 seconds of interviews. I'll link to the 30 seconds of JavaScript and 30 seconds of CSS. Those seem pretty cool too. "30 seconds of code" is this one. And 30 seconds of CSS. Cool. Oh, awesome. Julian's asking a cool API for travel and flights. What do you recommend? I haven't personally had any experience with APIs. I do use a site called kayak.com. I don't know if they have an API. But I typically find flights on here. Yeah, not sure. You can also always check out Programmable Web. They have like an index of a lot of different APIs. And yeah, if you just search for like flight data, I know there is like flight stats or something like that. Yeah, flight stats. So there's some out there. I don't have much experience with them though. Cool. All right, let's find another link. What's new in JavaScript? Anyone listen to this podcast? Yes, Syntax Podcast. It's great. Scott Talinsky and Wes Boss. Scott Talinsky is actually based out of the Denver area. I listen to this podcast regularly. It's really great. Both of them have YouTube channels and tutorials online. Yeah, they're both great. And the Syntax Podcast is great too. Yeah, I mean, they've done episodes on like what's new in JavaScript, talking about freelancing, a wide range of topics. Oh, there's an episode on CSS BIM, so that's cool. I never saw that one. Cool. Let's see what people have to say on the comments. I do. It's one of the best. It really is. I think their tagline is tasty web development treats. And it is. It's a good show. Looks good. Added it to my channels. I'll try listening to this when Welcome to Night Vale isn't weird enough. Okay, total aside, but Welcome to Night Vale is a super interesting podcast. I've listened to a few episodes, but it's basically like you're listening to a radio station from like this Twilight Zone-esque town. and like weird things are happening, but you hear about it all through this radio announcer. That's super interesting. I'll throw this in extras. Welcome to Nightvale. Oh, is that an image? I just want to copy it. And then also, yeah, Syntax Podcast. Check that out. Just the show. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, cool. They use Now for deployment. That's awesome. Such a great podcast. Joy to listen. Can anyone recommend more like this? Why, yes, I can. Sir Ramen Rocks. If you haven't heard of JavaScript Jabber, I actually haven't listened in a while, but they are a regular show all about JavaScript, and they have a panel of people that just talk about various JavaScript topics. They have guests on all the time. Are they still active? Yes, yeah. So a new episode was published yesterday. So yes, definitely check out JavaScript Jabber. And there's this whole devchat.tv brand of sorts, and they have a lot of different podcasts too. There's also the Freelancers podcast, JS Jabber. If we just check out devchat.tv, I think we can see the different podcasts. Yeah, tons of different ones. So Remote Conference Talks, My Angular Story, Ruby Rogues, the Freelancer Show. It used to be known as the Ruby Freelancer Show, but now they're more general freelancing. Yeah, just check that out in general. Lots of good podcasts. devchat.tv. Yeah, these are great. Like, especially if you have like a commute. It's like I used to listen to JavaScript Jabber. Like I would put it on 2 times speed so I could like finish an episode in like a 30-minute commute, and would listen pretty much on my way to work and on my way back from work. I don't have a commute anymore, but it's a good time to listen to podcasts. Andrew is saying, loves the podcast, but sometimes it's a bit demoralizing since I don't know much about some topics they discuss. I think, yes, like you can get in that frame of mind, like, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. But at the same time, especially like if you're new and getting into development, it's good to just like immerse yourself with those things because eventually they'll start making sense. And eventually you'll come across something and you'll be like, oh, I actually heard about this on the podcast. JavaScript Jabber is cool. I don't know if they still do this, but they used to have a fairly junior developer on the panel. And she always asks the good questions that no one else is asking. Let's see if we can see the panel. It was Amy Knight. I don't know if she's still on there. I wanna know who's on the panel. I guess if I click an episode, we can see who's on it. Yeah, so I mean, she's been doing this for a while, so she's probably not as junior anymore. But a good thing about that this podcast is they tend to not just like gloss over like really technical things. They'll try to like ask the guest that's on the show more things and dive a bit deeper. Cool. Save. Super great podcast. Look forward to it every week. Wes's courses are great too, and I haven't done any of Scott's, but I plan to. And if you haven't checked out Scott on YouTube, he has Level Up Tuts. He has a ton of great content. I think every Wednesday he does What Is, and he'll do like a What Is some topic in web development. But he is on that podcast.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott.
Hey, what's up, Scott? He's on that podcast, and then also Wes Boss is on that podcast. This guy. Cool. Anything else? This person, I tried to, but found it far too basic. I wonder if anyone could suggest podcasts that are geared more towards mid-level developers rather than towards complete beginners. I would not say syntax is for complete beginners. They're just very thorough. I don't know. There is, I don't know, there's like the Node podcast. There's a few others out there. I don't know. I think I'm done talking about this one. Let's upvote it. Maid, a markdown-driven task runner. Let's take a look. Whoa, you are defining tasks inside of Markdown and then running those tasks? I guess that's interesting because it's like having documentation in your script all in the same place. Let's see what this is. This looks super interesting. A Maid file is where you define tasks in Markdown. So you have your linter task, and then you have your bash code, which will run it. You have your build task. Super interesting. I mean, and I think the main thing is now, because a lot of people just use npm scripts for this. Like you would have an npm script that has that command in it and one with this command. But this is like a merging of a documentation and description of your scripts with the scripts themselves. And it looks like if you tag it with a language like JS, it will actually run that JavaScript code. That's super interesting. Each task is defined as a heading 2 section. The value of the heading 2 will be used as the task name. So this is the task build demo, this is the task build, this is the task lint, and in npm scripts, like those would be your task names. Currently, the code block can be sh, bash, js, or JavaScript. So they support bash scripts and then actually running straight JavaScript code. That's super interesting. Like I'm careful to say that it's amazing because for one thing, it's like, it's essentially going around doing something like npm scripts, but at the same time, your documentation is embedded with your scripts themselves. I don't know. Maybe we'll give this a try at the end of the show. If we look at their package.json, are they essentially calling Maid scripts from inside of their scripts? Just Maid test. Interesting. Yeah, we might take a look at that at the end of the show. It's pretty cool. Let's look at the comments. Ooh, that's neat. 1, WTF. 2, whoa, that's neat. 3, kinda like org mode. 4, also related, that McIlroy versus Nuth story and Nuth's approach. This is really interesting. Also, as someone who's worked on Markdown parsers before, I'm looking forward to diving into the implementation. What was your motivation for this? Well, the motivation was simple. Markdown for readability, simplicity. It's just interesting to make such a tool. And the implementation is pretty simple too. It uses markdown to parse the markdown string and extract useful information. Now you should make it so that the README is a Maid file too. Very cool. Emmy, welcome to the stream. Hello. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, we may take a look at that at the end of the stream. 3 hours ago, a poll. Which front-end JavaScript framework do you use? Dang, it's got a ton of votes. Like, people actually voting on it. Okay. I mean, technically, I do use React and Vue and Angular. And so this option is, I can vote multiple times on a single item. Broken poll. Oh, people can submit suggestions too. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I'm not going to read what they were saying there. I am just going to vote for Vue, because why not? Successfully voted. Cool. Cool. Some people. Let's check out the comments. I use Ember and React, but I use the former a lot more. This. Oh, really? What? So this poll will only tell us what the lurkers on r/JavaScript are using. There also aren't any limits, I guess, because you can vote for multiple things. Not sure. I think this might have also been shared like on r/programming or something like that. Super interesting. All right, let's click these two and then we'll move on to r/webdev. This first one, React custom scroll bars. Actually, React Nyancat scroll bars. Ha! Puns, okay. React.js folks are going to hate me because I'm going to ruin their life. This is React Nyan Stroller, a custom scroll bar with a cat and rainbow inside. Just drop it on the page, and Nyancat will scroll while you scroll. Oh, that's awesome. So as you scroll down, it scrolls. As you scroll left, it scrolls. That's pretty cool. Or can we can test it out on Code Sandbox too. Okay. So as you start scrolling the page, you see the Nyancat at the bottom. That's pretty cool. Awesome. I forgot to link to this. Let me not forget that. And then this one. We'll get the emojis in there too. Actually, let's link to the GitHub, not the Twitter tweet. Cool. And then we'll click this one. Free node.js hosting for open source projects. OpenNode.io. Cloud-based Node.js hosting. Get online now without the crazy cost and efficiently. Technically, now.sh or zeet.co, they offer free hosting for open source projects. And all of the free deployments, your source code is actually, they make it available on the deployment itself. I personally pay a month, like I pay the on-demand fee because I have like lots of different domains and deployments. But if you are open source, now.sh works. So curious what more OpenNode is offering. Deploy your website using our simple command line interface. Sounds like now. Push and deploy flexible instances. Cheapest. You pay on a per minute basis, and our price is the cheapest on the market. Okay. Wonder how long they've been around, though. Let's check out the comments. So I have been calling Julian, but Amy just asked, how do you pronounce your name, Julian? So in Argentina, is it Julian? Like the J is pronounced with an SH? Julian. Or is it Julian? Cool. Let me know what you prefer, because I do realize I've been calling you Julian this whole time. I don't know if that's what you prefer. Yeah, let's look at the comments for this OpenNode, because I'm curious how it's different from now. Pretty cool initiative, but who is funding this? This could get really expensive really fast, and I worry about the stability of a platform like that. Hey, we self-fund. We have paid plans to earn money. The free sandbox is limited to 50 megabytes of RAM. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's another alternative. It's always good to have competition out there. I am really partial to now though. Like they did it right. They did it first. They're awesome. But yeah, check out OpenNode. And then I'll also link to now. Cool. All right, let's move on to r/webdev. In English it's Shulian, so you pronounce it Shulian. Okay. Cool. Well, hello, Shulian. Welcome to the stream. Bluehost saves the last 4 characters in plain text. What? Like of your password? Could I get the last 4 characters of the main account password to verify ownership of the account? Give me a second, sure. Pretty weird that you guys can check the password, but okay. No, we just validate with last 4 characters for security purposes. We don't have access to the entire password, just the last 4 characters. That is not secure at all. Oh, am I pronouncing Emmy's name wrong too? Is it Amy? My goodness. I'm horrible at pronunciation. I apologize. Super interesting note though. So I was checking out, what is his name? He made the real emoji keyboard. Tom Scott. And he, I don't know if he still has the channel, but he had a channel called, so let's just check out his channel. He has really interesting, really cool stuff. A lot of it's like science-based, but he has like code-based stuff too. But he used to have a channel, or he might still be on it, a channel called Computer File. And they talked about passwords and how to deal with them on the server side. How not to store passwords. And this video is from 2013 and is still relevant. So if you're curious, like why you shouldn't store the user's passwords in plain text, check out this video. I'll link it in extras. How not to store passwords. And also just check out the Computer File channel in general if you haven't. They have lots of really interesting, really good stuff. Amy says it's fine the way I say it. Okay. Let's take a quick stretch. Oh, that's hilarious. So, change your password so that the last 4 characters are nope. And when they ask for your last 4 characters, just say nope. Wow. Yeah, so they're just talking about like how it's just a bad idea. Yeah, this person's recommend. So if you're not familiar, like Bluehost is, I'm not gonna go to their website. No advertisement for them. They do bad things, but they're like a shared web host. You can buy web space. I think you can host PHP sites there. They sell domains, that kind of thing. This person's recommending DigitalOcean, and you can get a virtual private server for $5. The thing about that though is it requires a lot of configuration. So if you know nothing about server management, it's going to be pretty hard to get a website up and running on a VPS, whereas Bluehost kind of like just does it for you. You just drag and drop your files and you're uploaded. However, again, I'll mention now.sh, they have a desktop tool where you can drag and drop your files and it will deploy the website, so you can check that out. Seisan is saying, I hope I'm saying your name right too. I'm going to be so self-conscious about that. Maybe they are taking the last 4 characters and hashing it like a slug or something like that. It's possible. I think the main concern is that any part of the password is stored in plain text at all. And I think... Oh, it could be. I see. It could be, and this first comment is saying it. They potentially also just hash the last 4 characters of your password, and then when you give it to the support team, they checked that against the hash, so they're not actually storing it in plain text. That could be a possibility, and I would hope that they do it that way. Julian is asking, what is my full name? I don't know if I should say it. Soon I will tell you my full name, but it is CJ is an abbreviation. I was named after my dad. I'm a junior, so yeah. Just close that. Wait, did I link it? Let's also link this. Yeah, it's very possible that they don't actually store the last 4 in plain text. It's just whenever you sign up or whenever you change your password, before they hash it, they'll take the last 4 and hash that separately. So that way, when you give support your 4 characters, they hash that and compare it against the hash. It's possible. Maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, cool. So this one has a lot of comments. What does your preferred stack for making a full stack web app look like? Let's see what people say. HTML, CSS, JS, jQuery, PHP, and MySQL. I'm a basic bitch. This is like the classic stack, and it's been that way. Like this has been a classic stack for a very long time. Let's see if anybody's mentioning Vue or Node Express. So .NET Core, Vue, Postgres. Okay, my streaming software just messed up for a second. I should be back though. Emmy asks, do I go by CJ in real life or do I use Maid Jr.? Yeah, I go by CJ. I've always gone by CJ because my father has the same name, and so in our house I was CJ. He was my first name. It's not that big a secret. I guess I just don't want to say it right now, like what my first name is. It depends on the front end. I am only using React. I tend to switch between Node.js and Django, DBWise, Postgres, or MongoDB. Cool. Here's the interesting thing, though. If you look at the number of upvotes, like this person who's using like a very classic stack, I mean, it's nothing modern by any terms, but it has 80 upvotes compared to some of these other people that are talking about Vue or React. Laravel and Vue. Cool. Preferred as in I'll enjoy myself the most, Elixir and Elm. Okay. Golang, Postgres, React. Vue, Bulma, Vuetify, Bootstrap, .NET Core, and C# and MySQL. Cool. No one's mentioning like the mean stack. Mongo, Express, Angular, and Node. That I thought was a pretty popular one. I guess my stack is, let's write it out. I prefer Vue.js on the front end. I prefer Node and Express, though I have worked in .NET and ASP.NET, but I do prefer Node and Express. MongoDB for some things, but Postgres for other things. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's come up with an acronym. There is Vue, Node, Express, Postgres. I guess I'd have to choose between Mongo and Postgres. If I really had to choose, and for like legit production apps, I'm probably going to use Postgres because I'm going to go into it with more planning and have like a schema. It varies by project though. Vemp, Penv. VPen. That's my stack. Cool. Rohit says he likes that combination. And Shulian is saying, I think most of the full stack always uses PHP and MySQL on the back end. I think Express and Mongo, for example, are really cool back-end tools. And Vue.js is best for the front. Yeah, what we're looking at there pretty much is the LAMP stack. Like that has been one of the most popular stacks for a very long time. That's Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And a lot of shared web hosts, like when you're running on their servers, you're basically running this stack. it's definitely, in terms of like apps that are starting from scratch, less and less are using this stack. At least from what I see out there. I don't know everything, but this is like the classic thing that's been around for a while, and a lot of sites on the web. At some point, it was like 80% of the web is WordPress. I don't know if it's still that number, but WordPress runs on this stack, so you see a lot of people actually using that stack. Let's see. Vue.js, CosmoDB, and Azure Functions. What the heck is CosmoDB? Oh, it's from Microsoft. Microsoft's proprietary globally distributed multi-model database service for managing data at planet scale. It is schemaless and generally classified as NoSQL. Cool. So this is like Microsoft's NoSQL database. There is Cassandra DB. That's from it's from Apache. I thought it might have been from AWS, because they do offer up Cassandra DB. I think maybe it's a DynamoDB. Is that? Yeah, so this is Amazon's NoSQL offering that they have. Cool. Angular, Firebase, Vue plus Webpack, Firebase, Vue Material and Vue5, Vue.js, Java EE, Node, Postgres connects, Restify, and Vue. I haven't used Restify. I have heard of it, though. A Node.js web service framework optimized for building semantically correct RESTful web services. Cool. So this is kind of like, well, is it on top of Express? No, maybe it's instead of Express. Interesting. No one's using my stack, though. I might have to comment. There are a ton of comments. Let's, wait, here we go. Vanilla or Vue, Express, Node, and Postgres. Have an upvote, sir. I think of it as Vepin. I think I, oh, is that what I wrote? Vpin. Cool. Or, put the E before the P. I don't know. Cool. I'll link to this. Whoa. All right. Let's move on to r/programming, and then we'll do something. We'll write some code. We're probably going to use Maid because it looks pretty interesting. Maybe we can, ooh, this would be interesting. Generate like a Vue app, but then instead of using NPM scripts, we use Maid instead. I don't know. Okay, r/programming. Introduction to the Pony programming language, submitted 5 hours ago. Let's take a look. Pony is a sort of Rust meets Erlang. It makes it easier to develop fast, safe, efficient, and highly concurrent programs. Okay. It's type safe, memory safe, exception safe, data race free, deadlock free. What does the syntax look like, though? Let's check it out. New to Pony. What is Pony? I feel like they're not showing me the source code for a reason. Like, is it ugly? Like, why can't I see some source code? Learning Pony. Getting started. Tutorial. Still not a single line of source code. Okay. Pony is a compiled language rather than an interpreted one. So it's talking about Python being an interpreted language. Okay. Finally, after probably 7 links, we have some Pony source code. Okay. So we have an actor main. I guess this is how you create a method, takes in your environment, which gives you access to like output to the console or something like that. Cool. You know what? I might actually write some Pony code. That might be fun. Running the program. Hello world. Cool. How it works. Line 1, actor main. This is a type declaration. The word actor means we're going to define an actor, which is a bit like a class. Oh, okay. The difference between an actor and a class is that an actor can have asynchronous methods called behaviors. Ooh. This is a constructor. The keyword new means it's a function that creates a new instance of the type. Okay, so we're creating an instance of main. And unlike other language, constructors in Pony have names. That means there can be more than one way to construct an instance of a type. Ooh. Okay. I think I'll try both. I think I'm going to try Maid, but then I'm also going to just install the Pony compiler and make like a hello world. I think that'll be fun. Cool. And I'll link to this. Malicious Git repository can lead to code execution on remote systems. Let's see. Okay. The developers behind Git and various companies providing Git repository hosting services have pushed out a fix to patch a dangerous vulnerability in the Git source code versioning software. The Git flaw leads to arbitrary code execution on users' PCs. Okay. Okay. It is considered the most dangerous. It allows a malicious actor to create a malformed Git repository containing a specially built Git submodule. Ooh. Paradise Blood, hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, whenever a user clones this repository, because of the way Git handles, because of the way clients handle this malicious Git submodule, may allow an attacker to execute code on user systems. Cool. Let's see what version of Git I'm running. You know what? I haven't updated in a while. Oh, actually, is it only vulnerable hosting services? Maybe not the client. 2.15. Whoa, I'm way out of date. Let's let that run. Server-side patches provided for Git host. Yeah, so I think this only affects the hosting services that provide Git repositories. Super interesting, though. Yeah, and if you've never heard of Git submodules, basically it's a way of having a link to another Git repo inside of a Git repo. And I guess what this is saying is if that submodule had something special done to it, it could have malicious code that would get executed on the user's computer when they cloned the parent repo, which is pretty interesting. Cool. All right, I'm safe. But like I said, I think it really is only hosting services, not necessarily clients. Though every machine that has Git on it is a Git server. So, but I'm not pulling anything from this computer. I don't know. All right, one or two more links, and then we'll try some things out. Let's look at this one. .NET Core 2.1 released. So I haven't worked much with .NET Core. I used it when it first came out, and I built like simple APIs with it. But I do actually want to build more with it. When I first got into programming and software development, I was doing C# desktop development, and then eventually got into ASP.NET. And then pretty much right when I got out of that world into the JavaScript world is when they open sourced the .NET compiler. or the .NET engine. It's like Roslyn or something like that. And haven't worked with it as much since then. But it'd be fun to do some apps with this, some tutorials on this. Let's look at the comments. Been waiting for this one. SignalR was the last big library stopping us from migrating over at work. Neat. Cool. And SignalR is a .NET library for real-time communication like Socket.io and Express. Genuine question. Can someone tell me why I should use or migrate to .NET Core? Seems like everyone in the sub wants to, but I'm yet to see anyone provide a compelling reason. Thanks in advance. It depends. If you're running a website, then you stand to gain a lot of performance improvements and the ability to run on Linux. Docker is a real game changer, and Linux support lets you move over to that. Yeah, so you, like before, .NET was only supported on Windows machines. There was Mono, which was the open source implementation, but like the official implementation only supported on Windows. Now with .NET Core, it's cross-platform. So you can actually create a Linux container that has a .NET service inside of it. If you're running line of business desktop apps, then I'd say there's not really any benefit at this stage. Cool. Awesome. Just found out that Unity 2018.1 will accept .NET Standard 2.0 libraries too. I'm moving everything over. Feels good. Cool. PowerShell core update is coming. Questions. Do you uninstall old version and install a new version? Cool. I wanted to read a little bit because this is literally just the download page. Let's see the blog post and see if they talk about what's new in it. We're excited to announce the release of .NET Core 2.1. It includes improvements to performance, to the runtime and tools. It also includes a new way to deploy tools as NuGet packages. We've added a new primitive type called span that operates on data without allocations. Interesting. There are many other new APIs focused on cryptography, compression, and Windows compatibility. It is the first release to support Alpine, Linux, and ARM32 chips. Sounds great. We should try .NET Core very soon on this stream. Actually, I'll just post this one. All right, let's write some code. First things first, let's see what's involved with Pony, because I may need to download, well, I know I need to download something, so let's see how long that is going to take. So check the installation instructions. Want to use the latest version of Pony source, but don't want to build for yourself? You can run the Docker container. Okay, I might do that. Cool. I actually do have Docker on this machine. Installed it a few days ago. So we'll get that up and running. And then we'll pull the Pony compiler image from Docker. Might actually be pretty quick, but let's see. So the way this works, I believe this, yeah, that's going to download the image to my computer, and then I can actually start up a container that has that stuff inside of it. Cool. Let's check out Maid, though. So this is a way of creating scripts inside of a markdown file. So I think that what I want to do is I want to generate a Vue.js app, and then take all the things that are npm scripts and put them inside of a Maid file instead, and then run them with Maid, just to see it work. So let me install the latest version of Vue CLI. I don't know if I have the latest one. Let me make sure I have the latest. Bob says it's time for CJ to write some code, and yes, it is. Yes, it is. Welcome, Bob. Welcome to the stream. Downloading all kinds of things. Okay, so that pulled down. Do I need anything else? I shouldn't, because now that I have that container on my machine, when I run this command, it's going to spin up that container and then compile my source code, and we'll run it. Cool. But we'll do that later. So I now have Vue CLI beta 15. So first I'll generate a Vue app. So I'm going to do Vue create. And we'll just say Maid demo. We'll do just basic. Well, I guess we should have. Let me kill this. I want to do it with a bunch of different tasks. So I'm going to have like testing and stuff like that, so I can put all of those tasks in our Maid file. So let's do this. We'll generate the app, but we'll select as much as we can. So we want linting, unit testing, and end-to-end testing. Because we will have a build script and a run script. All right, go. We will use Cypress. Okay, it's going to generate our Vue project. Robin, hello, welcome to the stream. We found this new thing called Maid, which lets you define tasks inside of a markdown file. And then it becomes your task runner, like instead of npm scripts. So I'm going to try it out. I'm generating a Vue app. We'll then take the scripts that are in npm scripts and like put them in a Maid file. See what happens. Look at that download rate. Oh, it was going like 60 megabytes a second. Let's check on Fishy, see how he's doing. There he is. Dash. Hey, Dash. Come here. Say hello. There he is. He actually, I'll be right back. He actually says hello when I walk up to him, which is pretty awesome. Hey, Dash. What you doing? Hanging out? What's up? Hey there. Hey. Yeah, totally. Say hello to the people of the internet. So what time is it? It's feeding time. All right, I'm gonna feed the fish real quick. There you go, buddy. He's hungry. He's excited. Cool. All right, let's get this thing going with Maid. So now we have this Maid demo directory. It's just a Vue.js app. Let's look at it in code. So basically, our package JSON has all of these scripts defined. So what I want to do is take these and put them inside of a Maid file with like a simple description. So first, let's just make sure it works. If we do npm run serve, will it start up our app? Cool. Basic Vue.js app. That's great. If we do npm run test end to end, is it going to spin up a Cypress thingy? Amy says he seems excited to see you. He always is, and I think that's awesome. Like a lot of fish that I've seen, they just don't care. But if I come nearby and I say hello, he will literally come up to the glass and kind of like swim around. So like, he's a smart fish, as smart as fish can get, I guess. Cool. So tests are passing. Let's turn this into a Maid script. Okay. If we look at their documentation, we'll take a quick stretch first, then we'll get into it. So, installing. Install Maid globally. Don't know if I want to do that, but let's see. So basically, I just need a Maid file, and then I can run it. So let's create a Maid file. So in this directory, we'll have a new file, maidfile.md. And then we define our tasks as headings. So let's split this right. And one of the first tasks we want is serve. And this is just going to be bash or bash script, so sh. And we want to do this, view CLI service serve. Julian says Dash is anxious for tonight's show. I'm a little anxious too. I've never actually, I've looked at the docs for Firestore, but I've never built something with it. I'm gonna kind of like prepare before the live stream, but it's gonna be new to everyone. It should be pretty easy though. It looks pretty easy to deal with. He is like hiding behind a. There he is. What's he doing? Yeah, and Robin is saying use npx maid. That's what I'm gonna try to do, and I hope that works. I may need to install it locally, but we'll see. So serve, we'll just say, I think you can do, okay, you do like a note. This will serve the app on port 8080. Cool. And then we'll do build. This will build the app to the dist directory. And this is bash. And we want to do view CLI service build. Let's just try these two things. Actually, we'll do linting too. Lint. This will check for linting errors in the source directory. And then we'll do view CLI service build. Now, for a Vue app, I don't know if I would use Maid, just because all of these things are built into the Vue CLI service, so like why would I create a separate file? But for apps where like you're configuring your own Webpack and you're configuring your own linting, it might make sense to use something like Maid. I'm just seeing if this will work. Kaizen mentioned, I've been using, and also welcome Kaizen. I don't know if I've seen a message from you, but welcome. I've been building Firestore for 2 months now, like 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. I've reached Firestore purgatory. Definitely check out Firestore offline. Oh, sweet. Interesting stuff for progressive web apps. I'm guessing that has a way of like caching the data locally. That's pretty cool. And maybe like syncing. Okay, so we've got some basic scripts. Now we should just be able to run Maid, and it will tell us what we have. So if we do npx maid help, it should list those scripts that we have in that folder. Serve, build, and lint, and it has our descriptions there too. Very cool. And then if we do maid, so npx maid serve, it looks like it's working. Cool, easy enough. And we'll do npx maid lint. No linter errors found. So I think it's cool. Like it's a way of co-locating your descriptions of your tasks as well as your tasks themselves. And like honestly though, like what if this was just the README file of your repo, right? Like what your README literally describes what each of your tasks does, but then your README is also like an executable build script. That's pretty cool. I like it. I approve. But like I said, I don't know if I'd use it for a Vue app, but it does make sense for, yeah, like anywhere where you have anything more complicated, where like you're running Webpack manually or doing some sort of your own Webpack config or your own linting or something like that. Makes sense. But it's really cool. I like it. Let's try this though. You can also do a task that just runs some JavaScript. Maid log. Wrong thing, just npx. Daniel saying, good work, CJ. Thank you, sir. And also, hello, welcome to the stream. Are you gonna wake up that early, Kaizen? 4:20? Just watch the replay. Get your sleep, man. Sweet, that worked. Okay, so that was great. That was fun. Let's try to write some Pony code. But overall, I approve of Maid. It seems easy to use. It worked, just didn't break, and it's a cool way of putting your tasks and their descriptions in the same file. Yeah, can't really say anything more than that. It's cool. All right, let's try to use Pony. So if we look at Hello World, let's make a Hello Pony directory. Hello Pony. Okay. And inside of there, we want to create main.pony. So let's create a new file, main.pony. And I probably want to install like syntax highlighting for Pony in VS Code. Let's see what happens if I put some code in there. No, so I don't have syntax highlighting. So let's install this in code, Pony language colorizer. Reload. Sweet, I now have Pony syntax highlighting, cool. And so this is a basic program. We create an actor, we create an instance that accepts the environment, and then we just print out hello world. Cool. Compiling the program. So this says to use the Pony C command. However, I am using a Docker container. So I should be able to do this. And the path to my code is just right here in this directory. And we're mapping that to source/main in the Docker container, telling it to run ponyc against, I'll do / against this file called main. Includes invalid characters for a vocal volume. It could be I need to put the full path. So let's do this. So this is saying map this directory on my computer to source/main inside of the container. Will it work? Oh, did I not call it main? Stat main, no such file or directory unknown. Error response from the daemon, runtime create failed container Linux, starting container process called exec main pony. I should be able to do, I guess, /main.pony. Permission denied. Let's make it executable. Exec user process cause exec format error. Note if your host doesn't match the Docker container, you'll probably have to run the resulting program inside the Docker container as well. Okay. Should I try to compile it locally? This could take a while, though. Who cares? Who wants me to spend the time compiling Pony? And I guess I don't know enough about Docker containers to know if this is actually working. Actually, you know what? There is an extension in VS Code for Docker. Let's do this. We could potentially get into an active terminal inside of the Docker container and then create the file and run the command from inside of there. It's not ideal, but it could work. I'm going to try it real quick. I just haven't spent enough time with Docker. Okay, so we have, whoa, all these different containers. Let's attach a shell to that container. Container is not running. Let's do this. Remove. 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 Okay. Run interactive. Error, no source files in package dot. OSX. Oh, just install it from Homebrew. That's what I will do. Instead of trying to do this container thing. Okay. This should work. We're going to get Pony C from Homebrew. Somebody already did the hard work of compiling it for us, and now we can just use it. Let's watch Fishy while this is happening. Is he laying on a rock? What is he doing? Dash, what are you doing? Hello, my friend. Hey, friend, how are you? You doing good? Okay. Daniel is saying, this has been an emotional roller coaster. It's about to, there's going to be a payoff right now. So we now have Pony C, and we should be able to say Pony C main.pony. Okay. Or just main, maybe? Couldn't locate this path. Good God. Let's try a new terminal, make sure that everything's good to go. Let's go back to their documentation. All right. Oh, just pony.c, because we called it main. So we created a file called main.pony. Now we should just be able to run pony.c. That could have been what we were doing wrong before. But now we have a compiled file. We have compiled our code. Now we can run it. So to run it, we just do /hello pony. Hey, we did it. All of that work for a hello world. But I really just wanted to try out using pony and like this interesting syntax. Is there anything cooler we can do? That describes how it works. Type system, classes, constructors, functions. All right, let's run this code. So we have two primitives, open door and closed door. And then we have an enumeration for door state. Is it opened or is it closed? Then we have a primitive called basic math that has a function that adds two 64-bit numbers. It also has a function called multiply that will multiply two 64-bit numbers. And then in main, we have a constructor. It's setting door state to be... So door state is of type door state, and initially it is closed. So the state of the door is closed. Then is door open is a Boolean that matches the door state. So is door open should be false. So when we log is door open, it should log false. And then when we say 2 + 3 equals, it's going to call our basic math primitive with add. Easy enough. It should say door open false and should log 5 to the console. So compile it. William, hello, welcome to the stream. It's been a while. And run it. Is door open false? 2 + 3 equals 5. We did it. All right, so let's make this door open. So instead of setting the door state to closed, we'll set it to open door. And let's try and do multiply. We'll do 42 times 1. All right, so we'll compile it. And the thing about a compiled language is every time you want to run your code, you have to compile it first, and then we can run it. The door is open, and the answer is 42. All right. That was fun. It took a while, but we got it going. I think I'm going to end the stream there. As I mentioned, I will push up all of these links and this code up to GitHub, so you can take a look at that. Also, tonight I am going to be streaming, so at 8:20 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to be building a full stack Reddit clone with Firebase, Firestore, and Vue.js. I haven't just did I say what? I think I might actually use Bufi and Bulma. But it will be a full stack app. I'm going to try to use Firestore login with Google. We'll be able to create subreddits, add links to subreddits, upvote and downvote subreddits, or upvote and downvote links, potentially add comments. It's going to be a good time. But tonight, 8:20 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, be on the lookout for an announcement. I have an announcement video coming out very soon. Watch that. Big things are coming for Coding Garden with CJ. Thanks to everyone that tuned in live. It's been fun, and I will hopefully see you this evening. We'll end with the fish cam. He's just hanging out in the plant down there. Oh, totally forgot. Thanks for mentioning, Robin. Coding Train is going to start streaming in about 10 minutes. So If you go on YouTube and if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe right now. Let's see. I think he actually made the event unlisted for now. No, it's there. More TensorFlow.js. So in 7 minutes, Dan Schiffman from Coding Train is going to be talking about TensorFlow.js. So go check him out. And yeah, there's Dash. He's hanging out. William Cameron commented Dash. That is his name. That's my fishy's name. Sweet. And also, I don't know if you saw that, but Coding Train on YouTube, live in 6 minutes. Check him out, talking about TensorFlow. This has been fun. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And I'll see you this evening, hopefully. See you later.